everyone. If you notice, the scenery is a little bit different. I'm at my parents' house for the weekend, so sorry if this looks a little bit different for people. But, whew, what a classic game we just witnessed over in Houston, Texas. We got to witness these two interdivision rivals between the legendary New York Yankees against the, now I guess you can call them a national brand, Houston Astros. And this ended exactly the way that I wanted it to end. A classic game with very big moments, big catches, big plays, big home runs, big scores. Oh, this game had everything. It really had everything. It was game six, which I thought it was going to go up until I didn't see a game seven. I would have loved to see a game seven, but at the same time, a game six is like a safe one for me. It's almost like how I never really pick sweeps, or I never really pick game sevens a lot. It usually goes like a game six or maybe a game five. That was a lot safer for me. But this really was a phenomenal game. Absolutely the whole way through, between two powerhouses. Essentially, it was the World Series, except it wasn't the World Series. Houston Astros, with their phenomenal pitching lineup of Justin Verlander, who might win the Cy Young, Garrett Cole, who could also win the Cy Young, Zach Greinke, another great pitcher, and also Brad Peacock, Wade Miley. They have a whole bunch of guys, and look at their lineup. You have one of the best hitters of our generation in Jose Altuve. You have a potential MVP in Alex Bregman, a fantastic outfielder who won the World Series MVP a couple years ago, in George Springer. Yuli Gurriel's a nice first baseman. Josh Reddick, also a nice outfielder. Michael Brantley's having a great season with his first year with the Astros. And Martin Maldonado, another good piece that you got. The Cubs, after being with the team before. And what do you see now? You're up against the New York Yankees, another great dominant lineup with James Paxton, his first year with the team, Luis Severino, now healthy. Masahiro Tanaka is always great in the postseason. And you look at their lineup. You have Aaron Judge, who's a leader on that team. You have Gary Sanchez, one of the better catchers in the majors. Gleyber Torres, one of the up and coming stars. DJ LeMahieu, he's a hitting machine. Just a massive lineup. These two heavyweights, and it really did feel like it was a good way to end. Like, it felt very, very satisfying, especially for me, who I'm fine with the Yankees, but at the same time, I say to myself, do I want to see the Yankees in the World Series again? Now, granted, to be fair, we haven't seen the Yankees in the World Series in over a decade. In fact, fun fact, this is actually now the third time in their history in which they don't go to the World Series in a decade. The other few times was the 1900s, from 1900 to 1909, to the 1910s, to 1919, and now the 2010s, 2010 to 2019. Tells you how times have changed. It tells you how parity is more apparent in the majors. Because what happened this decade, 2010, they were the wild card team. They lost the Rangers in the DS. 2011, they won the division, lost to the Tigers. I think it was a sweep. 2012, they got swept by the Tigers in the CS. 2013, they missed the playoffs. 2014, they missed the playoffs. 2015, they lost in the wild card game to the Astros. 2016, they missed the playoffs. 2017, they went on a run, but they lost to the Astros in the CS. 2018, they barely lost to the Red Sox in the DS. And now this time, they lost to the Astros in the CS. So 10 times since winning the World Series against the Phillies in 2009, where this team has come up short. And for a team like the Yankees, a team with lofty expectations every year, because they are the most popular team in the majors by far. They're the second most valuable sports team in the world. You're going to have these massive expectations on you, especially when you're in a city like New York, in which I mean, we haven't been as successful as like Boston has because since the turn of the millennium, we've got a Yankees World Series. We got two Yankees World Series, two Giants Super Bowls, but that's really it. But outside of that, the Knicks haven't made the playoffs. No, the Devils also, I think, won in like 2000, 2003. But outside of that, the Rangers only made the Super Bowl Stanley Cup once, but in that time, but they never won it. Islanders haven't been back there since the 80s. Knicks haven't been back there since, well, they made it in 99, but they didn't go further than that. The Nets went to back-to-back championships, but they lost both times. Mets made it twice in 2000 and 2015. They lost both times to the Yankees and the Royals. But yeah, not as much success compared to Boston, where you got like 6 Patriots championships, 4 Red Sox, the Celtics, and the Bruins. Just absolutely crazy. And the Yankees tied it up again at the very, very end. DJ LeMahieu with one out. Looked like the Astros were gonna win, but LeMahieu tied it up. So it goes into the ninth. Chapman's up. Chapman's their closer. He's always dominant. He's one of the best closers in the game. He could potentially opt out of his contract. And what happens? Jose Altuve, with Springer at first, I believe. He rakes it, and he usually doesn't hit a lot of home runs because he's pretty small. He's the shortest guy in the majors. Raked it, won ALCS MVP like he deserved. He had like an average of what? It was like 348. Ridiculous. He really is one of the best hitters of our generation. And he deserves to be considered as such because he truly is that good of a player. And now you're looking at this matchup. Well, first I do want to let you know, don't feel bad for the Yankees. I don't feel bad for the Yankees, and I'm from New York. Listen, they've had a lot of success. Let them get used to this. Look on the bright side, there's still a team that is loaded. This is the team that's probably going to still compete with the Astros next year. This isn't over. I wouldn't be shocked. Don't be shocked if they face each other again in the CS, because this rivalry between the two is only going to brew. And I cannot wait. I love a good interdivisional rivalry. I love one of these big playoff-centric rivals. Oh, can't get enough of them. You really can't get enough of them. Like the Cardinals and the Giants, those years. You might also, the Patriots with the Colts, Patriots with the Broncos. Outside of that, Rockets, Warriors, Cavs, Warriors. You always love to see those good playoff-centric rivalries. It really is fun to see. But as for Astros Nationals, this is going to be a very, very big starting pitching-centric matchup because you get Verlander, Greinke, and Cole on one side, and on the other side you have Strasburg, Scherzer, and Corbin. This is going to be very, very loaded. I do like the Astros starting pitching. USC Trojans, I will admit, Trojans haven't really been that good. Go Nationals, yeah. I like to see the Nationals win. I like to see the Astros win. I like both teams. I think both teams are very, very likable. I would say, for me personally, I just want to see a great series. I'd love to see the Astros become the next dynasty. I'd also love to see the Nationals win their first championship. But as for me personally, I think the Astros would probably win in 6. However, I have been wrong before. I did think the Cardinals was going to win. We're going to win the CS because I wasn't sure whether or not the Cardinals were legit because it kind of seemed like they would. Yeah, it's fine to want the Yankees, but it happens. Don't worry. 7 playoff appearances. That's nothing to shy about. 16 playoff appearances in 20 years. That is remarkable. And everyone else, the Cardinals have 13. I think the Dodgers have 10. Braves have 10. That is truly remarkable. And I would say that the fact that the Yankees have always been this dominant in terms of playoff success, in terms of going to the playoffs, just shows how well run that organization has been for this many years. When do you ever see the Yankees be called a bad run organization. No, they're always considered one of the most well run organizations. They're similar to like the Celtics. Similar to the Celtics, how they're always in the playoffs, or maybe the Spurs. Got to go to the Falcons game in the morning. Oh, as for the Falcons, I'm going to get to that in a second, but yeah, I would say that when it comes to the Astros, I don't know. Could you say that they're the team of the AL of the decade, or would it be the Yankees, or would it be the Red Sox? Because I could say the Royals, but they only had like 2 runs of success. Red Sox won 2 championships, and Astros are going to their second title appearance. It's tough. The Yankees made there the most with 7, but they never made it to the World Series. So I can really see 3 in which it's Yankees, Red Sox, Astros in no particular order. And as for the NL, kind of similar. The Giants won 3, but they only made the playoffs 4 times. Cardinals were always in it, and also the Dodgers. Okay, Zenny, make sure you get shut eye. Dodgers made it 7 straight times in the playoffs, win the division all those times, but they made the World Series twice, but didn't win it either time. But it could really be one of those 3. These 3 teams, and one of them used to be a National League team. Just think about that for a second. And if you want to add that in there, the Tampa Bay Rays actually have had the 3rd best record in the American League since they went to the World Series in 2008. In fact, just below them, they're just below the Yankees and the Red Sox, and they have half the payroll as the Red Sox. You can maybe throw them in there as well. Maybe you can also throw the Texas Rangers, as they went to 2 World Series and they lost, but they also went to the playoffs a few other times in 12 and 15 and 16. Yeah, you can really throw a few teams up there. I would also say that I do like where baseball's headed also. The fact that you're going to see more of these teams, these lesser known teams, be competitive, that could be a good part, but I would say that I am happy that Astros Nationals is not going to be a series that we're going to hate watch. It's not going to be like Cardinals, Yankees, where I hope the referees win or I hope both teams lose. You're not going to get that this time. Instead, you're going to get 2 teams that are rather likable, haven't had that as much success as the teams they beat, and one fair and square, and there's no controversies or anything, and it's going to be a fun series. However, for tomorrow, I do feel like I need to say what I think is going to happen, because tomorrow's games for the NFL do intrigue me a little bit, but some of them I do think I would understand what the results are going to be. Let me just look up the schedule. Okay. Raiders, Packers. I don't have the point spread, but I think the Raiders coming off a bye week. Packers came off a game that they probably shouldn't have won because of the officials, but I think the Raiders can be very, very competitive, but I think the Packers will just edge out the win because I think they are the better team, but I think the Raiders are going to be very, very competitive. And Rams and Falcons, even though this is a West Coast team going to the East Coast, the Falcons' defense is absolutely awful. I don't know if Jalen Ramsey is going to be playing in this game, but either way, offense is going to be nice. Defense is what's going to blow it. So give me the Rams to win this game outright. Niners, Redskins. Give me the Niners, no question. They're going to go to 6-0. Texans, Colts. Now this is going to be a good matchup. 2 teams that are trying to compete for the AFC South. Colts coming off their bye week. Meanwhile, the Texans just came off a big win against the Kansas City Chiefs. Who, even without Patrick Mahomes, many people see as the biggest threat to the New England Patriots. However, I do think they're going to be a team, the Colts are going to be a team in which they're probably going to win. I think so because they had that week off. So give me that to them. Vikings Lions. Ooh, an NFC North battle. Ooh. Even though the Vikings have won their last two games, it is against two inferior opponents in the Giants and the Eagles. And the Lions are probably pretty pissed off because of the way that the game on Monday night against the Packers ended because of the referees. So give me the Lions to win this game. I think so. Jaguars Bengals. Bengals are awful. They're 0-6 at the moment. I think they're going to go 0-7. Jaguars. I think Gardner Minshew is going to be a little bit desperate to try to keep his job. I hate to see Minshew mania leave. They barely lost to this. They barely lost to the Jaguars. They barely lost to the Saints. It was 13-6. Played with them close. Cardinals, Giants, again, is in the situation of a West Coast team traveling to the East Coast. Cardinals did get two victories in a row. However, that was against the Bengals and the Falcons. So how much could you really weigh that on them? The Giants, even though they did lose to the Patriots, they were really knotted up with them 14-4 in the first half. So, give me the Giants because I think they're going to be a little bit more motivated. Also, I think James Betcher's want to kind of stick it to his old team. And also, that Giants defense, I do think could really play well against Cardinals. Dolphins, Bills, Ryan Fitzpatrick starting again. Bills, no chance. I'm giving me the Bills to win this game. Dolphins, I see them going 0-7, no, 0-6. The road to 0-16 will continue, so stay tuned. Chargers, Titans. Chargers came off a very bad loss, humiliating loss to the Steelers last week. The Kings did win today, I think. I gotta check those scores. The Chargers came off a humiliating loss to Devlin Hodges and the Steelers. Ugh, gross. Titans now starting Ryan Tannehill. So either way, you can't really get excited, but I do think the Chargers are gonna plow right through and try to get a first win in a while. Ravens, Seahawks. Ooh, now this could be a Super Bowl matchup, maybe dark horse Super Bowl matchup. With the Seahawks, the Ravens have been a little bit more inconsistent. Saints, Bears. Who knows if Chase Daniel's going to start for this game? But Alvin Kamara is out, so I think that's going to be a big blow to the Saints. Bears might be rested. They're probably a little bit upset the way that they handled it against the Raiders. So give me the Bears to win this game. Eagles, Cowboys. Sunday night matchup. Two teams that absolutely hate each other. Both teams tied for the first in the NFC East. Because the Eagles are still banged up and because the Cowboys are probably going to be fight hard for Jason Garrett's job, give me the Cowboys to win this game in AT&T Stadium. And finally, Monday Night Football. It's going to be Patriots-Jets. With or without Sam Darnold, I see the Patriots going right through them. Even though it's in MetLife, Patriots are the Patriots. They see another somewhat vulnerable opponent, and they're going to go 7-0. Those are just my picks for the next 2 days. I know it's not baseball related, but some of you in the comments were mentioning football, so I want to give you guys my picks. Fact or fiction? Jim from Rabbi Man. Jim Harbaugh bails for the NFL after this season. I think there could be some teams that want him, but I'm not sure. Michigan has been a little bit disappointing since his time as the head coach there. But at the same time, when you're the head coach of a college program, you get your own players, you control the whole team. Do you want to be back there? Do you want to go back in a situation where you don't have full control over? I don't know. It's a little bit tough. I would say that Jim Harbaugh might get a look from some teams, but I don't think anyone's going to hire him. And even then, is Michigan going to fire him? Or are they going to keep him? That's really the big question I have. Or will they bail Michigan? I have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen. Michigan. Penn State's been good. They're now number 7. You think the Redskins are going to hire Jim Harbaugh? I could see it. I mean, they probably would need knowing the Redskins, they're going to want a splashy name to try to get people to come to their games because let's face it, no one's going to Redskins games. I think they're going to. I think the guy they're going to want the most is either Mike McCarthy or Mike Tomlin. Yes, he does want like brand names, just like I said. He's going to want either Mike McCarthy or Mike Tomlin, two guys that have won a Super Bowl and have been to a Super Bowl and have playoff success with big rosters and notable quarterbacks. I think he's going to want that. And also for Jim Harbaugh, he's a very, very brash personality. He's a guy that, with his time with the 49ers, had three straight NFC Championship game appearances, including a Super Bowl appearance in 2012. We lost the Ravens. I could see something like that. I don't think they'd go for him, though. But hey, you never know what would happen. Outside of the Redskins, maybe if things go up sour in Cincinnati, they can hire him, but I don't see it. I think he's staying at Michigan. Who knows? Let's see. Redskins were vacancy this offseason. Yeah, who's going to want that job for the Redskins? I mean, unless you're getting a lot of money, I don't see anyone really choosing the Washington Redskins as their number one destination, unless someone sees something in Dwayne Haskins and Ryan Kerrigan, the rest of that Redskins defense, the rest of that front seven. Maybe that could really interest them. But outside of that, who wants to work for Daniel Snyder? Who's going to want to work for Bruce Allen? Yeah, he may need to go, but Dan Snyder's not going to fire him. Let's be real here. They're like, what, 30-something games under 500? Did you see that anytime soon? I don't think so. Any other questions you guys have? I'm willing for it. I haven't checked as much as the NHL score, so I'm going to check that right now. Mm-hmm. Yes, the Kings did win against the Flames, but then again, it is early in the season. Keep that in mind, guys. During the season, two teams in the world are the last two teams to be affiliated with Fresno Grizzlies. That sounds like a very weird question. I can't really answer that personally. Mind rephrasing that for a little bit? Thank you. The Fresno Grizzlies. Oh, I see. I see now. Who are they? Who are the Grizzlies affiliated with now? Is it still with the Astros or is it someone else? Just check. Oh, the Nationals currently. Who's who is the AAA affiliate of the Astros now? Round Rock Express. Okay. They were originally the AAA affiliate from 2000 to 2010, and then became the Rangers from 11 to 18. Now it's back with the Astros. Round Rock, Texas. That is in somewhere in between Dallas Fort Worth and Houston. So it's actually not a bad choice. It is close to them. But as for the Nationals, it's just pretty weird the fact that your AAA affiliate is all the way in Fresno. But then again, the Mets AAA affiliate for many years was in Las Vegas. Oh, it's near Austin. I'm looking at right here, like somewhere around there. Good area for them. A little tired here. It's 1:20. I need to get some shut eye. And thanks everyone from watching, and hope Astros Nationals is a great series. And as for the Yankees, I still don't feel bad for you. But hey, great series. I hope things go out better next year, and I think they probably will. But who knows? Best of luck.